All right, today we're going to go microscopic. We're diving deep into this invisible world that is, and I mean this, absolutely essential to our own. Yep, we're talking about the world of bacteria.
Okay, let me ask you something. What's everywhere? I'm talking on your skin, inside your stomach, on every surface you can think of, even in the dirt under your feet, but you can't see it. Not a single bit of it? You got it. We're talking about bacteria. These tiny, tiny organisms are seriously one of the most common forms of life on the entire planet. And today, we're going to put them right under the microscope.
Okay, just to give you an idea of the sheer scale here, get this. Right now, on your body, there are more bacterial cells than there are people on planet Earth. Yeah, let that sink in. It's an absolutely mind-blowing number. But hey, don't freak out. Most of these little hitchhikers are actually on our team. So let's jump into it. Think of this as your field guide. What are these microscopic little life forms that we're sharing the planet with?
Okay, so the basics. A bacterium is just a single-celled organism. That's it. It's so incredibly tiny, you need a seriously powerful microscope to even catch a glimpse. And these things, they are the ultimate survivors. We're talking one of the oldest, most common life forms to ever exist on Earth.
You know, this is where a lot of people get tripped up, especially when they think about things like viruses. So let's just ask it straight up. Are bacteria actually alive?
Oh yeah, a huge, definitive yes. Bacteria check off all the boxes for what we call life. They grow, they reproduce, they can move around, they use energy, they respond to what's happening around them. They are, without a doubt, living things.
All right, here's a quick science term for you. Prokaryote. That's what bacteria are. All it means is that their one single cell is super, super simple. Unlike our cells, they don't have a little command center, a nucleus, where all their DNA is bundled up. Bacteria also come in a few basic shapes, which is pretty cool. First up, you've got the cocci. These are basically just little round spheres. Then there are the bacilli. These guys are shaped like tiny little rods. And finally, the spirilla, which, you guessed it, have this awesome spiral kind of corkscrew shape. Oh, and some of them even have these little tails called flagella that they whip around to help them swim. Kind of like a propeller. Okay, so we know what they are and what they look like, but the big question is, what do they actually do? Well, this is where it gets interesting. It's time to meet the heroes and the villains of the bacterial world. It really breaks down into two main camps. On one side, you have the good guys, the helpful bacteria that we literally cannot live without. I'm talking about the stuff in your gut that's helping you digest lunch right now. But then you have the bad guys. These are the harmful bacteria, the ones we call pathogens. They're the culprits behind things like strep throat or a nasty case of food poisoning.
Let's talk about our allies for a sec, because honestly, we owe them big time. They're in our digestive system, breaking down food and unlocking nutrients we couldn't get on our own. They form this invisible protective shield on our skin to keep out bad microbes. And hey, you can thank them for foods like yogurt and cheese. Plus, out in the world, they're basically nature's ultimate cleanup crew, breaking down waste and keeping the whole ecosystem running. So here's the bottom line. We hear so much about the bad stuff bacteria can do, right? But the reality is, if you took away all the helpful bacteria, life as we know it would just fall apart. Seriously, the whole system, including our own bodies, would just stop working. Of course, knowing about the bad guys is super important for staying healthy, so let's switch gears and open up your personal toolkit. We're going to talk about some really practical ways to keep those harmful germs in check. So how does an infection actually happen? It's pretty much a three-step playbook. First, the bad bacteria have to get in. That could be through a cut in your skin, in something you ate, or even just in the air. Step two, once they're inside, they start multiplying like crazy. And finally, step three, they can release these nasty toxins that mess with your body and make you feel sick. But here's the good news. Protecting yourself isn't complicated at all. We're talking about simple but super powerful habits. Things you've heard a million times for a reason. Washing your hands, cooking your food all the way through, keeping any cuts clean. That's your first line of defense, and it's a really strong one. Okay, we have to talk about this next part, because it's a huge point of confusion for so many people. Bacteria versus viruses. They are not the same thing. And here's the single most important thing to remember. Antibiotics kill bacteria. That's what they're designed for.
They do absolutely nothing to viruses. Zero. That's why your doctor won't give you antibiotics for a common cold, because a cold is caused by a virus.
All right, let's pull back and look at the big picture here. We've gone through what bacteria are, the good, the bad, but why does any of this really matter to you?
Well, it matters because knowing this stuff is like having a superpower. It helps you stay healthy, it helps you understand why you should or shouldn't take antibiotics. It gives you this whole new appreciation for how the world actually works, from your own gut to the soil outside. It just empowers you to make smarter choices every single day.
So, when you boil it all down, it's this simple. Bacteria are tiny. Yeah, but their impact, it's massive. They are a seriously powerful force. And honestly, they're an essential partner for pretty much all life on Earth.
So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. Now that you know you're walking around with trillions of invisible allies on your side, what's one thing you might think about or maybe even do just a little bit differently?